If
Greetings, citizens of the world, citizens of the internet, and all participating members. We are anonymous. Since the Act of 1871, which established the District of Columbia, we have been living under the United States Corporation, which is owned by certain international bankers and aristocracy of Europe and Britain. In 1871, the Congress changed the name of the original Constitution by changing one word. Some people do not understand that one word or two words makes a difference in any legal document. It makes a critical difference. Congress has known and does know of this. 1871, February 21st. Congress passes an act to provide a government for the District of Columbia, also known as the Act of 1871. With no constitutional authority to do so, Congress creates a separate form of government for the District of Columbia, a 10-mile square parcel of land. The act passed when the country was weakened and financially depleted in the aftermath of the Civil War, and was a strategic move by foreign interests, international bankers, who were intent upon gaining a stranglehold on the coffers and neck of America. Congress cut a deal with the international bankers, specifically the Rothschilds of London, to incur a debt to said bankers. Because the bankers were not about to lend money to what they thought to a floundering nation without serious stipulations. So they devised a way to get their foot in the door of the United States. The Act of 1871 formed a corporation called the United States. This corporation, owned by foreign interests, moved in and shoved the original Constitution into a dust bin. With the Act of 1871, the organic Constitution was defaced, in effect, vandalized and sabotaged. When the title was capitalized and the word "for" was changed to "of" in the title. The Constitution of the United States of America is the Constitution of the Incorporated United States of America. It operates in an economic capacity and has been used to fool the people into thinking it governs the republic. But it does not. Capitalization is not insignificant when one is referring to a legal document. This seemingly minor alteration has had a major impact on every subsequent generation of Americans. What Congress did by passing the Act of 1871 was create an entirely new document, a constitution for the government of the District of Columbia, an incorporated government. This newly altered constitution was not intended to benefit the Republic. It only benefits the Corporation of the United States of America and operates entirely outside of the original organic constitution. Instead of having absolute and unalienable rights guaranteed under the organic constitution, we the people now have relative rights or privileges. One example is the sovereign's right to travel, which has now been transformed under corporate government policy into a privilege that requires citizens to be licensed. By passing the Act of 1871, Congress committed treason against the people, who were sovereign under the grants and decrees of the Declaration of Independence and the Organic Constitution. The Act of 1871 became the foundation of all the treasons committed by all government officials.
Actual video. We're showing the documents as we speak. Congressional acts, congressional record, law dictionary definitions. This country's been deceived, and the reason we can't seem to fix the problem in Washington is because they're not correctly addressing the problem. They're keeping the real problem from the people. Once the American people know the deception, and the deception's out of the way, the solutions are easy. You need two elements, and the two elements are the Supremacy Clause, which is Article 6, Section 2. Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the United States Constitution, which holds the Constitution to be supreme law of the land, and it pretty much strikes null anything that tries to supersede it. And the second is the will of the people. The law's been in place the entire time. This entire constitutional amendment that's got all this jurisdiction, and everybody upset about gun control and income tax and all this other stuff that's coming at us, health care and everything else, is all a 14th Amendment creation. The 14th Amendment is not the citizenship the Constitution created for us to be. The Constitution made us a citizen of the state. That's found in Article 4, Section 2, Clause 1. The 14th Amendment in 1868, 90 years later, 89 years later, gave us the citizenship of the United States, which is a municipal corporation. 28 U.S.C., United States Code, subsection 3002, Part 15. The United States is a municipal corporation. By making you a citizen of a corporation instead of the citizen of the state, you're now part of the property of that corporation. And that corporation is owner and head of assessor of all corporations in the United States and owners of all property thereof, as we're going to show in the documents. The CSR reports for Congress, I want to talk about them. Every member of Congress, both the Senate and the House, get a copy from the Committee on Terminating the State of Emergency. A lot of folks don't know we've been in a state of national emergency since 1933. Nobody comes back from Washington, D.C. telling everybody this. As a matter of fact, the 2008 Senate report, which you can find on my website under documents, right at the bottom, it says a 2008 CRS report for Congress. Page 5 of that document, which is page 5 of 19, which is CRS-2, the top paragraph, makes clear that Executive Order 6, signed by the Secretary, not the President, so it's not even a real executive order, is where ratified said the 14th Amendment was ratified, not a constitutional Congress. Executive Order 7 said it was lawful and ordered it published. Now, I got to thinking about that as my research went along, because President Andrew Johnson gave a speech in 1867 going against the Reconstruction Acts and the 14th Amendment because it created a different form of government and a different citizenship than what the Founding Fathers created and intended. So therefore, the Supremacy Clause, whether this thing was ratified or not properly, should strike it with null. Everything that we're dealing with today, income tax, whether it was ratified or not, it's a dog chasing its tail issue. The income tax is only made for the 14th Amendment citizen. That's why that citizenship is the only one required to pay it. They're taxing their corporations. It's a corporate tax. It don't matter if it was ratified or not. They're not going by real law. That's what the people don't understand. Once you understand how the problem's coming at you, the solutions are easy. All I'm going to do is remove the veil. You might vote for somebody different than me, and that doesn't matter. But what's going to matter is that we all going to have to get our rights back somehow. And if you don't know how you lost your rights, how are you going to get them back? And that's what I'm teaching. That's all. I mean, you can vote for somebody else. Just make sure they know this. But my question to them is, if they don't know this, then how are they going to fix anything? What I'm about to show y'all. And if they do know this, how come they're keeping it a secret from y'all and they're not telling you? You see, in 1867, an act to create a different form of government, which the Supremacy Clause should have struck with null right there. Think about it. That different form of government is different than what the Founding Fathers wanted us to have. The Supremacy Clause is there like the ultimate weapon to get rid of this thing. We've been playing with firecrackers. We got to stick a dynamite in a drawer, and nobody's ever touched it. It wipes this whole thing out. That's what I've been trying to point out, and that's the only reason I've really got up and decided to run for Senate, because the people that know this ain't saying nothing, and no one else knows it, and you can't fix nothing if you don't address the problem correctly. And this is how you fix it. In 1867, they also set up the court system for this new form of government, the United States, which is a municipal corporation. 1868, they illegally threw that 14th Amendment in there, which, by the way, it was supposed to have been a political choice citizenship. You see? They can't impair, deny, restrict, or even question your right to go back to the republic form of government. It's inconsistent with their form of government. But since basically the past 140 years, this choice has basically gone unknown, unrecognized, and buried. People think this corporate form of government and citizenship is the only one there is. It's the unlawful one. I mean, think about it. If you're a law-abiding citizen and you love your country and your Constitution, and you might think maybe some of these laws might be needed or whatever, I ask you to think of the Constitution and consider this little analysis. When given a choice between living in a lawful constitutional form of government, which our Founding Fathers intended us to have, or an illegal, unconstitutional form of government, which one should you choose? The lawful one, which created a truly free people. We're not supposed to have all these taxes and restrictions and government up in our business. They don't have no business there. And they've only done it through the 14th Amendment. I don't know how case law would have ruled differently in the future. But I know many cases are decided on the 14th Amendment, such as immigration was a 14th Amendment decision. Prayer was struck down as unconstitutional through your 14th Amendment citizenship. Roe versus Wade, abortion was a 14th Amendment decision. Displaying the Ten Commandments in public was a 14th Amendment decision. I mean, I don't understand how these would have, they would have been ruled differently probably at a state level. and a republic form of government because every state was sovereign, its own republic. But it definitely wouldn't have been rolled on the way it has. And like I said, I'm publicly challenging everyone running against me. I don't care how many letters you got after your name. I'm just an old country boy. If you don't know any of this, how are you going to fix anything? And if you can't fix anything, we've had 140 years of the suit to tie and the political lie.